Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. This is a type of video that I don't do that much, but I think there is an importance to it. And I always think when I see my buddies show these types of videos that this is just an interesting thing to know what your friends, your YouTube subscriptions, whatever you want to call it, what they're listening to. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you 5 albums that I've listened to in the last couple days. No particular order, not necessarily the last 5 albums that I listened to, but just 5 albums, and I'm going to talk about them. No particular order. This happened to be the last album I listened to, and actually, after listening to it, I realized I really need another copy because this one is not great. That's the Beach Boys Today. Let me take this out. Now, I've really been in a Beach Boys mood. Probably the summertime, probably just the types of music, the types of modern music that I'm listening to right now are really influenced by Brian Wilson's production. And I'm just already, a big Beach Boys fan. I think obviously with the 60th anniversary of Pet Sounds earlier this year, I've just really been listening to it a lot. So this is the album that I listened to today. I listened to a couple others, but I just thought I would show one. Beach Boys Today, quickly becoming a top 5 Beach Boys record for me. This is really, really a cool record. The covers, a little less to be desired, the Beach Boys in Sweaters by The Pool. But great songs on here like Do You Want to Dance, the cover that Dennis Wilson sings. Good to My Baby, great harmonies with Mike on the bass. When I Grow Up to Be a Man, Help Me Rhonda. This is the Rhonda, Help Me Rhonda without the, without the letter H. This is the album version that instead of the normal single version that we're so accustomed to hearing on radio, the Help Me Rhonda, yeah. This is more like Help Me Rhonda, yeah. It's more like ba 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 like that. So the album version, not as good as the single, but still interesting. Dance 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 is on here. So you've got classic Beach Boys, just, pop songs, but then you have these introspective songs like Please Let Me Wonder and Kiss Me Baby, In the Back of My Mind, which is just this gorgeous, another Dennis vocal. Dennis really has a killer voice on this record. I'm a big fan. And again, the production's so good. Kind of a theme to a lot of these songs with that introspective nature that we would really get on, Pet Sounds and Summer Days and all those albums. So Beach Boys Today, if you just know Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, give this one a listen. This might be a good starter place for you to kind of understand where Brian Wilson was in the 60s. So Beach Boys Today. Next, I yelled, sorry. This is an album that I haven't listened to really since it came out, and I'm happy I pulled it out. This is the album The Speaker Wars, self-titled album. One of the absolute worst covers of all time, and the packaging isn't much better. But this is the album by Stan Lynch, the drummer of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. There's Stan right there. And this album, I didn't realize, I think, when I first listened to it, it was, a good rock and roll album. Stan always had a great groove on the drums, and he provides some of the vocals on here. But re-listening to this and listening to John Davis, this is almost like a Don Henley record. John's voice is very much in the vein of Don Henley, especially the song The Forgiveness Tree. That's got tinges of The End of the Innocents on it. Listen to the song Traitor South. Stan is singing it. It's obviously about Tom Petty, kind of a little tongue-in-cheek song. They always had kind of a little bit of a strained relationship, and it kind of talks about that. But a really, really solid album. There's, like I said, check out the song The Forgiveness Tree. It Ain't Easy, I Wish You Peace. Just some really, really good stuff on here. And yeah, solid rock and roll from Stan Lynch and the guys. And we're supposed to be getting another one. Did I say that already? Later this year or next year. So looking forward to that. This is a fun listen. I listened to it, I think last weekend. The Blues Brothers, Briefcase Full of Blues. Now, if you've never heard this and you just know the movie, this is a really good album. John Belushi could have been a musician if he wasn't a comedian. Fantastic stuff on here. And obviously, just like the incredible band, I mean, you've got pretty much Booker T and the MGs as the band, minus Booker T, with Paul Schaefer plays on here, Steve Cropper, who just recently passed away, Matt Murphy, Donald Duck Dunn, Steve Jordan on the drums, Alan Rubin on the trumpet, and then obviously Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. But some great covers on here, like the song Flip Flop and Fly, Soul Man, the Sam and Dave tune, Hey Bartender, Rubber Biscuit, which is like the funny Dan Aykroyd tune. Just a fantastic record from 1978. This is a original on the Orange and Green Atlantic, and I've really enjoyed this record. I need to get the other Blues Brothers album, but yeah, this is kind of set up as like almost a live album. I don't know how live it was. I don't know enough about the Blues Brothers. If somebody wants to tell me, that would be great. But fantastic album. I bought this for $8, pretty much a clean version. If you see this and you like just, blues and kind of that Stax Records kind of sound, Briefcase Full of Blues by Jake and Elwood. And Dan Aykroyd could play a mean harmonica. Listen to this afternoon as well. I say this afternoon like you know what day I'm filming this on. Mr. Tambourine Man by the Byrds. This is the debut by the Byrds. Considered by many to be their best. I am a bigger fan of Sweetheart of the Rodeo and kind of the Clarence White Byrds. But I love Jingle Jangle Birds too. This, Fifth Dimension, Younger Than Yesterday, all fantastic. This has the title track. They have the Gene Clark song, I'll Feel a Whole Lot Better, which my boy Tom Petty covers on Full Moon Fever. Bells of Rhymney, which I think Chris Hillman says is the most Birdsy song. Like if you were to introduce somebody to the Byrds, or they were to say, what do the Byrds sound like? Chris Hillman, I believe, was the one who said, play them Bells of Rhymney. Spanish Harlem Incident, All I Really Want to Do, another Bob Dylan tune, Chimes of Freedom. Then they have the weird ending of the Vera Lynn track, We'll Meet Again, which they're singing in these like English accents. And again, the Byrds were competing with the British invasion groups at this time. This is 1965. I purchased this album actually up in Canada. What was the place called? Aux 33 Tours. My man, French Vinyl Addict, recommended that when my wife and I were honeymooning in Montreal. But it's the Columbia 2i there. A little noisy, but I mean, this thing is so good. And it's a good kind of placeholder maybe until I get a cleaner copy. So Mr. Tambourine Man by Los Byrds. And then finally, I listened to this today as well. This is the debut record by Sir Richard Starkey. Because I'm filming this on his birthday. This is the album Sentimental Journey. This is Ringo covering the standards. This is before you had the Rod Stewarts doing this. This was before you had the Harry Connick Jr.'s, all those types of people. Ringo was doing this way before that. This is 1970, produced by George Martin. So, yeah, fantastic. You've got stuff like Bye Bye Blackbird, Sentimental Journey, Night and Day, Stardust. He's done work with Paul McCartney on Stardust. McCartney arranged it. Quincy Jones, Elmer Bernstein, Les Reed, Richard Perry, who he still works with a good bit. So Sentimental Journey, it was a neat little kind of intro to Ringo's solo career. It did not produce really any, classic Ringo songs, but it kind of let people see Ringo outside of just being a drummer. I don't think he's drumming at all on their album. And this is the Apple logo. So this is an OG, as a lot of people on YouTube say, even though they don't know what it means. So, yeah, Ringo Starr, Sentimental Journey. There you go. Those are 5 albums that I've listened to in the last few days. What are you spending? What do you think about those records? If you don't know those records and have any other questions, let me know. I appreciate everybody that subscribed recently. I appreciate all the views. And if you know somebody that might like my content, like my channel, let them know. Tell them about me. And I'll look forward to saying hey to them. So that does it for me, everybody. In the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. And we will see you on the next one. Bye now.